Hello, this is Billy. In the previous episodes, we've seen how to create the traffic lights, and this time we are going to create this fridge monitor. It will be able to show you the temperature and humidity. If you put it inside your fridge, it will send the signals to the MQTT server on the internet and post those data onto the MQTT dashboard for you, so you can review it later. It will also display the values onto the LED display. We'll need the following components. You'll see the links how to buy it in the description. We are going to learn two new terms in IoT. The first one is I2C, which means Inter-Integrated Circuit Bus. The second term is called MQTT, Message Queue Telemetry Transport. First, let's take a look at I2C. I2C is a two-wire communication system, so you only connect two wires between your controller and the different sensors or even the LED. The two wires name is chosen, one for clock, SCL, which is the yellow line on the diagram, and the other one represents the data, which is the orange line on the diagram, and we call it SDA. So you find these three-letter words printed in every sensor that support I2C, and also in the LED on the top right. In our controller ESP8266, there are two pins responsible for this. They are also marked SCL and SDA, the pink color pins. And on the circuit board, this is printed as D1 for the SCL and D2 for the SDA. That means D1 controls the clock, while D2 controls the data. Besides these two pins, we also need to power up our sensors. So we still need to connect one pin from the ground of each of the devices to the ground pin of the ESP8266. That's the pin labeled GND in black. And then for the power, the VCC pin on each sensor, we connect it to the 3V3 pin, which is the bottom left corner pin on the ESP8266 that provides a voltage of 3.3 volts. In this system, the ESP8266 functions as the I2C master. That means it sends out commands to initiate the communication with each sensor and LED. And each sensor and LED is called a slave in I2C terms. They are I2C slaves. So they wait for the command and they're summoned by the master. So how do I know which sensor I want to talk to? So we do that by giving an I2C address to each sensor. For example, from the top, we have the LED. The I2C address is 0x3C, which are hexadecimal value, 3C. And then on the bottom middle, we have the SHT20, is the temperature and humidity sensor. The I2C address is 0x40. So it's not 40 in decimal, but 40 in hexadecimal. And then the bottom right, we have the BH1750, the light sensor, or we call it the lux meter. The address of that is 0x23 hexadecimal. Theoretically, as long as you can control the signal quality of your circuit, you can connect up to 127 I2C devices in one bus, because the address allows you to name 127 different devices. But of course, we will not usually go above 5 or 6 devices in one system, because when more devices is connected, the voltage and signal will drop and deteriorate, and then you will not be able to send commands to these sensors or read data from the sensors. So maximum 5 or 6 is what I recommend. Next, let's talk about MQTT. MQTT stands for Message Queue Telemetry Transport. It is an internet protocol like that of FTP or HTTP. In MQTT system, you need 3 different persons or roles to make it work. First person is the publisher. Like our ESP8266, once it reaches the sensor's value, it will publish the data into the feeds that will be sent to the MQTT broker. So this second role is a broker. The broker will receive from the publisher and store the value somewhere in its system. And then we have the third role called subscriber. The subscriber will subscribe to a feed, like reading a newspaper, like subscribing to a channel in YouTube. So once it subscribes, any changes or any new data appearing on that channel will be sent to the subscriber. The same IoT device can be both a subscriber or a publisher. They can take both roles. You can publish your own data, but subscribe and listen to other data from other people. The important thing is to find the right broker on the web or in your internal network at home. So one of the very popular and free of charge service is Adafruits.io. You can start using it for free by just registering your email address. And for this free account, you can put in maximum 10 type of data, or we call it 10 feeds. If you start adding the 11th one, they will ask you to subscribe to their service, which may be 10 to 20 US dollar per month. They call it IO Plus, and the free service is called Adafruits.io. The paid service is IO Plus, which has more features like auto trigger, alert, warning, and additional number of feeds. And also there's the rate limit. That means how frequently you can send the data. So if you have a free account, you can only send maximum 30 updates per minute. That is all your feeds. So all your 10 feeds together, you must not exceed 30 updates per minute. Otherwise, the next update will hang the system and you will be penalized by storing communication for a few seconds to a minute. You can see the bottom 2 screens are what you can see in the Adafruits.io. The left one is for the feeds. The feeds are automatically created when someone with the right access posted a new category of data or a feed. So you don't need to create it yourself. As long as a program is run and sends data in that category, that feed will be created automatically. Like in this case, we have the humid one and also temp one. Humid one is for humidity, temp one is for temperature. And on the bottom right, you have the dashboard screen. A dashboard means you are displaying the information you subscribed. So the MQTT website allows you to be both a publisher and a subscriber. As a subscriber, you subscribe to your own feed and display it on the Adafruits.io web page. So you can use a mobile phone, log into that web page and display all your feeds as meaningful charts or other type of visualization tools. Here we are displaying our humidity and temperatures on the same chart, so you can add a number of feeds to be displayed on the same chart. Okay, that's enough talking. Let's start working. So first we download the source code from my GitHub here, Feidgemon. Then you can unzip the Feidgemon master.zip, and then within that there is another Feidgemon.zip, so you unzip a second time. After that you will get a folder called Feidgemon. Just copy or move that folder to your default Arduino source folder, which is usually document/Arduino. Then you can open up the Feidgemon.ino, the sketch for our project. select the Credentials tab, and you'll see there are some values with a question mark that we'll need to fill in after we created the MQTT account. Besides downloading the source code from my GitHub, you also need to download this additional library for your device drivers. So let's do it one by one. First is the temperature and humidity sensor driver. So we copy this one, paste it into your browser. Most of these drivers are available in the GitHub. So you find the GitHub here. And then you can download zip file. Once the zip file is downloaded, you can edit it. But we'll go ahead to download all the zip file first. So this is the first one. And then we go back to our source code. This is the second driver. Again, copy the URL. Go to the browser, paste the URL, go to the GitHub page of that driver. This one is the PubSubClient. It is for MQTT communication. So we'll download the zip file. Oh, this one you download here. Okay, done. Go back to the Arduino program again. This is the last driver, is for OLED, the display driver. So we copy the URL, go back to the browser, paste it here, and find the clone or download button here. Download zip file. We've got the SHT20 humidity temperature sensor device driver. We've got the OLED display driver. We've got the MQTT driver called PubSubClient. Now we go back to our Arduino IDE program. So we click on Sketch, Include Library, Add zip file. So we'll add them one by one. And they are in the download directory. So we'll go to the first one, SHT20, choose, and install. Because I already installed it, so it's just giving me a warning. So we'll go through that anyway. Second one, add zip file, download directory, the ESP8266 display driver. Okay, added. And then the third one, include library, add zip file, download, PubSubClient, choose. Okay. So that's done, all added. All you need to create the MQTT account in Adafruit.io is your email address. So you can browse to here, Adafruit.io. plug into the 3V3 ports on the bottom right. This is the 3.3 volts positive power. So it will power up our component. Then we'll use this small short yellow wire to connect from D1 on the port to the column next to the red wire. Finally, we'll use this orange wire, connect to D2 and put it just next to the yellow wire. That's all the cabling we need to make. The OLED has 4 pins, so the ground, VCC, SCL and SDA. So we have just lined up the jumper wires on these 4 pins. So we just insert it, line up the ground pin to the column with the gray wire, which is the ground. Just insert it in. Because we are going to put the sensor inside the refrigerator, the fridge, so we have a longer Dupont cable. It can be a few feet to 1 meter, and we plug into the ground, the brown wire, and then the red wire plug into the VCC 3.3 volts. The yellow wire plug into the column with SCL, and the orange wire also plug into the column with SDA. So just use the same color we used for the jumper wire. You can't miss it. Now for the other end, we connect it to the sensor. The sensor also has 4 pins: ground, SCL, SDA and VCC. So we need to connect the pin with the right color to this pin. Never swap the ground and the VCC, otherwise it will burn the sensor. So first we insert the ground, then we insert the VCC, the power, followed by the orange wire, which is the SDA, and finally the yellow thread, the SCL, the clock. So after you have done, double check that you got the right color to the right pin. If you swap the positive and negative, things will blow up, so be careful. Now that everything is ready, we can click the arrow there, the upload button, to compile and upload the code. Upload is done, controller is reset and start running the setup. It's now connecting to the Wi-Fi using our Wi-Fi SSID, got the IP address, and it's connecting to the MQTT, reading the sensors, getting the time from the NTP server, and posting the sensor values to the MQTT broker Adafruits.io. So let's see how it looks on the Adafruits.io page. If you click on the I/O page, you'll see that it's already created some feeds like Humid 1 and Cam 1. All those feeds already have values posted. Same for the temperature one, Temp 1. So it's got a chart and it's a feed with different values. We have the sensors. These sensors, SHT20 is very good sensors. They have 2 decimal places. Now let's create a dashboard to display our charts. First, you have to click the plus sign and then you add a form to display your data. You click line chart and then we can select all the feeds you want to display on the same chart. Put in a title, then click create block. This will put in a chart on your dashboard. So if you display it, just refresh. All the previous data will be displayed. And you can point in any part of the chart to get the actual value. So you can monitor your refrigerator, see if it is as good as you think. So I originally want to explain how the program works, but I think it's too long now. Let's wait for the next video. That's all I have today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and send to your friends to watch too. Bye now.